Man, this crowd was full of energy, enthusiasm, piss, and vinegar. And at first, they were just full of energy, enthusiasm, and vinegar. I'm John Recton with my review of AEW Dynamite from Long Island, New York. New York wrestling crowds truly buzz all over the world. Does anybody remember that episode of C-Lab 2021? Adult Swim certainly had some weird, good, and good weird programming throughout the years. So let me know your favorite Adult Swim shows in the comments, please. Like Aqua Teen Hunger Force, #1 in the hood, G. Anyway, enough of that. This was certainly a show that had more positives than negatives, but there were a few moments that I did not like. I wonder if you can guess which moments I did not like. Because, spoiler, they're probably going to get me some hate, but it is what it is. They're just my opinions. You can like all the shit that you want to like and not like the shit that you don't want to like, because that's the great thing about being a wrestling fan. You can like whatever company and all that stuff and everything and all that. So I do also want to apologize if you hear any noise or some housework going on the outside, around the outside. But we start off hot. It's all about that boom, Adam Cole, baby. And he's gained a pretty big pop, for he is Adam Cole. And he gets enough of a pop until the match starts. And then people remember, oh yeah, this is Adam Cole who's really good in the ring and has kind of just been coasting since. That's my opinion. I'm sticking to it. Dax gets a pop. It's crazy that FTR has, without really even changing anything that they've done, they've just gone to the other side. They broke on through to the other side. They broke on through to the face side. And I can't really do the FTR theme because it doesn't have any lyrics, but it's just great. And Dax gets a pop. Hart family inspired tights. And Martha Hart in the skybox to watch this Owen Hart quarterfinal match. Dax Harwood taking on Adam Cole, baby. And Dax was having none of Cole's shit. The crowd was split. There was a step spot where Dax hurt his ribs and Cole targeted him and kept targeting them. Rampage, by the way, is on a special time, 2:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Adjust your cocks accordingly. And so basically that means 3:30 Mountain Time, whatever Hawaiian time is, I have no goddamn idea. Central Time, 4:30, and East Coast, 5:30 p.m. I actually kind of hope that maybe they keep the show, maybe not on at this time, but I kind of hope they start the show a little bit earlier after playoffs are done, because I think the earlier time almost works better, because the ratings are what they are. It's another discussion for another day, but I think Rampage really, if they want to get people into it, need to find a way to do it live and just find a way to like maybe have two different tours and that kind of stuff, but it is what it is. I know live TV is a little bit difficult. But Rampage is on early. So, Dax was showing off while favoring his ribs. We get a slingshot bomb. Cole teases the sweet chin music. At least Cole can see straight, unlike the guy that used to do sweet chin music. But it got counter. We get near falls. We get a stuffed pile driver. 1, 2. And sharpshooter to her pop. But, oh no, Dax's ribs give out. That was some good storytelling, because Dax is really good at the pro wrestling. We get a near count out. Cole gets a sharpshooter, and Dax has to tap out because he can't take it anymore. No, stop, don't do this anymore. And that was disappointing, but it makes sense because, Dax is, like, he holds, 2 tag team championships along with Cash, so maybe they have other plans for them. And it was some good storytelling. Package on Darby and Jeff. I think people want to see us go to the hospital. I told Tony Khan, let's just throw the rules out and let us be psychotic. Let me just say right now that I've seen Darby do some weird shit and some shit at indie shows, like taking a thumbtack spot in front of 500 people in Washington Hall. And 500 people, by the way, is beyond the capacity of that venue. I hope I'm not spoiling anything, but it is what it is. But yeah, they're just going to have an anything goes match. Why? Because Jeff Hardy can't fucking go in the ring anymore. Wait, I'm showing my hand. And I gotta save it for later. Hangman out to Cheers to join commentary as well. Some pretty good stuff here. And Punk comes out in an Islanders jersey. I know nothing about hockey, but he got booed. But it is what it is. And then Paige says, this warms my cold heart. Oh no, he's a cold-hearted cowboy devil. Hangman Hook? There we go. There's a team I didn't know I needed. By the way, in case you see any lights flickering, it's because of said housework going on. So, Silver comes out to Cheers. Li's own. Not, not that kind of Li. No, it's just, it's good old Long Island. But John Silver, who can work. he can work, and him and Punk had a decent match. Punk was the heel here. We did get a bit of a botch on the Tornado DDT. That was a little bit rough, but it was what it was. The Spin Doctor attempt, but just go ahead now and counter it. And Punk hits his own version of the buckshot, the Punk shot lariat. 1, 2, 3, and there you go. Good stuff. Good stuff. And then Hangman comes down. We have a face-off, and it was what it was. Punk says it's not personal, it's just business. I used to ask myself, are you a good guy? But now I'm asking, are you the champ? And, well, you're going to shake my hand, whether you're conscious or unconscious after the pay-per-view. So there you go. And Page flipped him off. I don't know why Hangman Page is suddenly heel, but maybe he feels disrespected. This is fine. Kind of came out of nowhere, but it is what it is. So Shivani is back there with Jamie, Britt, and Rebel. Good Lord. Britt talks about facing the Joker. And if she beats the Joker and Jamie beats Tony, they get a face-off and the better woman will win. Well, we don't have to worry about that, given what happened in the match later. JR, about Danhausen. He's a strange duck, I promise you that. Danhausen's, announced it over 3 years. Very nice, very evil. I love that Danhausen, all that. Nice got no TV entrance. And then Nice beat Danhausen after a distraction with the running forearm and a running Nice. Because I think he had some kind of broken leg. I know that and I got to see him at an indie show, I think just before that happened, and then he's been recovering since. I know he was on the Final Battle pay-per-view, but he was doing commentary for something because he was still on one of those push-along carts, one of those leg carts where you can rest your leg and just go and be like, wee, it's like a little scooter. But Danhausen, I don't think, is quite cleared, and also it sort of makes sense as to why they would just have Nice beat him, and then we get a bit of a beatdown while Sterling tries to say some stuff like, we're going to take all your favorite memes and beat them down, and I'm sure this guy can cut good promos, but just the material isn't very good. And then they send Hook, I'm going to write down verbatim what I wrote down. Oh dear God, oh for fuck's sake, why? We get a handshake, and well, so much for that. I know there are some people that like the Hookhausen thing. That's fine. I have nothing against Danhausen as a person. I don't get it. It's not for me. It's not necessarily something that I care for. And I don't understand why we're taking Hook, who is dealt with in a very serious manner, and trying to do this. But, it's for entertainment. The entertainment stuff in other companies gets killed, even when it's sometimes entertaining, and rightfully so, because a lot of it, maybe like 10% of it's entertaining. AEW can do some entertaining stuff. I don't find this entertaining. I just don't. I don't understand what they're doing with Hook. Whatever. Maybe they're just trying to nurse this thing along because they realize, well, shit, we've given him an undefeated streak and we need to nurse him along and have him eventually win a championship, but he's not ready yet because we have other people tied up in storylines. But great, Hookhausen. Wardlow comes out with a blue Wardlow graphic, and then we get a Dark Side of the Ring package on MJF with Jericho saying, all our history? I'm not saying this. Wait, how much is he paying me? Well, okay, and then he does the narration. Dark Side of the Ring being canceled, by the way. Very disappointing, but it is what it is. They got Barry Horowitz for this and calling Wardlow a jobber. If you know who Barry Horowitz is, this is even more fucking hilarious. This is amazing, is what I wrote down, because this brought the show back up. MJF gets a huge pop before he is Long Island's own. For the contract signs, like, I love you crazy sons of bitches, and the mensch of the cinch, I think is how it is, and that was just really good. And MJF is easily the best promo in wrestling. I mean, he is. I mean, it's like, because, yes, there are people in WWE that can be great promos. There are people in New Japan that can be great promos for that audience, but I don't speak Japanese. I'm sure Okada's a good promo, but I have no idea. The people in the cheap seats, you're poor, but you're still beautiful. He's getting the cheers, but he's just railing against his hometown. It's great shit. And, he calls him the American roller coaster. Oh, guys, you don't want to talk about 2024, because he talked about when Wardlow lost 2 cage matches, and he lost against Cody in Wardlow's first match, and that was good shit. But the whipping, he's going to whip him. He's going to do the same thing that he did to Cody, and he's going to build that up. And he says, Spears, how many times is he going to, I'm going to whip Wardlow? 10. The one time the Spears is actually fucking over with the crowd. But He gets spears in a cage, and Wardlow smiled. He says, MJF's going to be the referee. Obviously, this is going to lead to something where MJF's going to get knocked out, and Wardlow's going to pat his hand down like that. That's what's going to happen. And then, if Wardlow loses, well, he can't sign another contract with AEW. Basically, he can't. They're pretty much making it to where either Wardlow's going to go away for a few months, and then he's going to come back and he's going to destroy MJF and get his hands on him and force his hand, or he's going to win, and MJF's then still going to make his life a living hell, and we're going to have this feud go on. They've definitely done a great job building this shit. I'm not sure who's going to win, but Wardlow almost has to, because otherwise then they paint themselves into a corner. Uncuff him so we can sign it. And then Wardlow does it, and then Wardlow puts his hands out like he's going to get cuffed, and he just punches one guy, punches another guy, just beats the shit out of all the security, tips the table over. One guy almost landed on the table legs. That was really, really fucking scary. And then it's just him and MJF because he knocks out Spears. For Spears is pretty much fucking worthless. And then Sterling jumps in for some goddamn reason, and then Wardlow puts the table back up and power bombs him right through the goddamn table. Can't do a power bomb symphony through a table, but it is what it is. And JR had one thing. I don't trust a guy who has 5 different colors of hair. I don't know why that made me laugh, because I don't really have that much hair, but it is what it is. Joe, then it was a Joe promo package along with Lethal, Dutt, and Giant Silva Jr. standing. Well, Giant Silva Jr. stood there. Dutt said some stuff in whatever language they speak in India. I believe Hindi. I think. I don't know. I'm not trying to be insensitive. And Lethal talked, and it will never be over, Ole Anderson. It will never be over. I don't care about this. I don't care. Tarzan boy, whoa, 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 Jungle boy, oh-wee, oh-wee, oh. Taking on Ricky Starks for the non-recognized FTW Championship. Taz was on commentary. Hey, more wrestling. Yay. Jungle boy, when he is working with somebody that not necessarily can lead him. I mean, Jungle boy is young in the business, and Starks isn't necessarily a veteran, but he has worked enough, big matches in AEW. And he's worked enough, indies. I mean, I saw him at one of the first indie shows I went to and met him just before Hard Times 2019 when he was still with the NWA. Starks is great. And when Jungle Boy is with the right person, he can have a great match. And he fucking did. It was well worked. Of course, at one point we get a snare trap and we get to the ropes. I'm not going to go over every single move here. Swerve runs in to stop Ricky from leaving, but then we get a roll-up. And oh no, the referee's distracted, so Jungle Boy doesn't get the victory. Now we get jaw-jacking and Rochambeau, 1, 2, 3, and Ricky Starks retains the FTW Championship. I'm glad they're giving Ricky wins. I still think the FTW Championship is fucking dumb. Swerve apologizes to Jurassic Express, and then Hobbs and Starks stare him down, and Lee comes down to just stare down, so we're probably going to get a 3-way, oh my, tag title match at Double or Nothing. Cage tries to encourage Jungle Boy after the loss. Clear-cut heel turn. So goddamn telegraphed, it's like we're back in the 1800s. So, the Jericho Appreciation Society victory speech. This is bad WWE comedy that Jericho is known for. It wasn't good. It wasn't good at all. I don't care. Moxley shows up to save this. Try to. Wild thing. Hey, we pay for the whole goddamn song, and damn it, we're going to get our money's worth out of it. Then he tried to say suspended sabbatical, which I still butchered and still said better than Chris Jericho. Here's Danielson and Yuta and Regal. And then Hager is dressed like a CPA on a golf course is what I wrote down. Here's Santana Ortiz, and Eddie Kingston has Frank's Red Hot sauce on his face. He puts that shit on everything. I doubt there is anybody that is going to get that reference. But we get a brawl, shocking, and Regal punches Jericho. My God, it's 2001 all over again. We're going to get a Duchess of Queensberry rules match soon. Fucking no, please not again. Package on Rosa and Deeb. JR, Dustin, and Shivani chime in. I like Thunder Rosa, and I really hope that her and Deeb get some time, and maybe Deeb can get away from being Serena Skrull and get rid. I'm just going to say this. If Serena is actually dating or engaged to Marty Skrull, and that's actually, that's actually the truth, and it's not just a rumor. I've seen enough posts to believe it. If she hasn't done that, then I will immediately retract this stuff, but Deeb's not exactly showing, a smart side of her brain, so to speak. If she's going to date somebody like that, you don't date somebody that does that to somebody underage. Miss me with the goddamn, consent in the UK. Miss me with that. That's bullshit. Tony's theme is apparently from Heart's Dark Side album, or an album that was never released. It really sounds like Heart. Jamie Hayter versus Tony Storm in an Owen Hart quarterfinal. They've done so many qualifiers, I knew I was going to say that. Battle of the Booty. In all seriousness, these two women can work. Hayter can, she just hasn't gotten much of a chance without being immediately cooled down after a pretty good match. Something didn't click here. There were some good moves, some good stuff, but something did not quite click here. There were moments that were good. The crowd totally died until the end, because maybe they were just happy it was over. I'm worried that the AEW fans are being conditioned to not care about the women's division as much, which is a shame. Now, maybe some people really didn't care about Toni Storm versus Jamie Hayter. I don't know why, just from a looks perspective, but again, both can work. Jamie's a powerhouse. Toni is very good, has been working for years and years and years. I met her in an indie show. She couldn't have been nicer. But I don't know why they did the apron bump. I don't know why. Toni Storm won with the Storm Zero. I wish the match would have clicked a little bit more. It wasn't bad, but whatever. So, but good on Toni Storm for winning, and I hope that they, are more into the rest of the tournament. The crowd, so that is. Ruby versus Riho, speaking of the Owen tournament. We hear from Jade and the baddies. Oh boy, can't wait to not care. Scorpio versus Kazarian. We then cut to a package on Sky. And Lexi talks to Frankie, who's interrupted by Ty and Sammy. We need those douchebags there. And then, don't trust him. Oh yeah, I'm going to trust you, Sammy. Death Triangle versus Butcher, Blade, and Mark Quinn. Butcher and Blade party! Is Isaiah Cassidy injured? Because I haven't seen him work recently. Spears versus Bear Boulder. And then we get a double or nothing card run at Hookhausen versus Nice and Sterling. Oh boy. Just whatever. I'll talk about that when I do my predictions and my review. Dynamite, Regal versus Jericho face-to-face because 2001 never goddamn left us. O'Reilly versus Phoenix. Britt versus the Joker. Joe versus the Joker. Jehoker, as it were. Hangman versus Takeshita. I'm still trying to pronounce that right. I probably did it wrong. Wardlow takes 10 lashes. Cole versus Jeff for Darby. Jeff entrance. And Darby makes his entrance. So it's Darby with Sting. Sting! And by the way, I missed the total opportunity because I didn't say Hookhausen. But you know what? I'm only going to do it for Hook when Hook's involved in something serious. That's the rule. So anyway, it's an anything goes match. Here's my fucking opinion of the goddamn thing. Jeff can't work anymore, so he has to take all these spectacular bumps, even though he shouldn't be doing it. Darby is determined to cripple himself by age 35. There is a pile of chairs. I said it's a shit show. A huge ladder. Jeff goes up on it. We get a crash into the pile of chairs. A coffin drop on the apron. Swanton on the steps that Jeff misses. Coffin drop and a roll up for 3 while the ladder's right there, and you could have just tipped the ladder over and possibly hit somebody in the head that came up with this goddamn thing. And the undisputed leader out there on the stage because we're getting the Bucks versus the Hardys. Jeff Hardy won, by the way. Okay, I know it's a dream match, and I'm sure these guys liked it, but it's just, we've seen too many car crash matches. Too many car crash matches, ladder matches, street fights, Texas death matches, all this stuff. They've done so many gimmick matches this year. There's such a thing as finding a happy medium, as opposed to an upset medium that just wants to take your money and give you a bullshit palm reading. Enough of that. Don't go to those dark corners in Seattle or Tacoma. Never mind that. The whole point. It's not good when you keep overdoing this shit. And that's all. Jeff Hardy won and it was a car crash. It was not for me. Whatever. Anyway, agree, disagree with what I said, like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Rickland. I'll see you soon.